Hi, my name is Anthony and this is my story. It all started first day in 7th grade. I walked into the classroom and this kid who was a lot taller than me was standing next to the door, and he looked at me and he called me Shorty. And I just thought, wow, okay, so what? I'm short, big deal. And I went to my desk and I sat down. The second day, I walk into the classroom, same guy's there, but he has a second friend. And they're both a little bigger than me, and they both call me Shorty. And, I just kind of think, okay, well, great, I'm short, big deal. And I go and sit down, I don't think much of it. The third day, I walk into the 7th grade classroom, and there are 3 of them. And they all call me short. I just kind of shrug it off, thinking, okay, no big deal. But by the second week, there were about 6 or 7 guys that were all calling me short. And it just seemed to me that the more guys there were making fun of me and calling me short, the worse I felt. It was really odd, and it went on, 6 or 7 guys picking on me for almost all year. And I mean, I felt powerless. What could I do? And I just kept shrugging it off. Sure, I felt bad, but what could I do? So I just kept shrugging it off and shrugging it off. And then 7th grade comes to a close, and 8th grade comes around. And this time, I walk into the 8th grade classroom. The same guy is there, only I'm looking down at him. I was 6 inches taller than he was, and in 7th grade, he was 6 inches taller than I was. And I'm looking down at him, and his eyes get really big, and he just kind of cowers and goes in the corner and sits down, and all I saw of him that day. Then the second day I walk in, and same guy, but he's by himself, and he's still standing next to the door. And he's looking right at me, and I look right back. And then he kind of gets his big eyes and kind of cowers off and goes sits at his desk. And I have not had a problem with him since. And, now I'm in 10th grade and I go to high school, and in the hall, I usually see him once or twice a day, and I look at him. Now I'm much taller than he was, and I'm looking at him, and now I'm about 8 inches taller and a lot bigger than he is, and I see him almost every day, and I look right at him. He looks right back, and I haven't said anything to him, and he hasn't said anything to me. He hasn't said, gee, I'm sorry, or, I'm sorry I did that, or, I must have felt bad. He didn't say anything. He still hasn't, and I still haven't said anything back. But every day I see him, and he's walking in the hall, and I look at him. And he looks right back at me. And I'm thinking back on it, and I never called him short. Now that I'm taller, I have every right to call him short. I guess it's not really a right, but I have that instinct to call him short. But I never have, because when he called me short and all of his friends called me short, it really hurt inside, and it really got me. And I've never called him short or any of his friends short because I knew deep inside how much that hurt. And I didn't want to put anyone else, even him, through what I felt during my 7th grade year. And, that's just how I feel. I don't want anyone else to go through the pain that I went through.